This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. You guys, today I sort of look like Jennifer Coolidge. Look at that. Jennifer. You hate me. Okay, sorry about that. All right. Today's a fun show. Everywhere you look on social media, people are talking about that hit HBO series, The White Lotus. It's a mystery about a fancy resort hotel. This season was set in Sicily. The finale aired on Sunday night and finally revealed who died. Don't worry, no spoilers here. But it is at the top of a list of lists of the best TV shows of 2022. And let's be honest, there were, I'm being honest, a ton of really good shows that aired or streamed this past year. So some other picks include popular shows like Yellowstone. Okay, that show is in its 5th season. Abbott Elementary is on a lot of lists for the best show of the year. It received 5 Golden Globe nominations yesterday. And The Crown on Netflix was on a number of top show lists. This season was all about Charles and Diana's divorce. So what was your favorite show of 2022 and why did you like it so much? This I could talk about for hours. I'm, as you know, a hard binger. Okay, Lindsay, please tell me your favorite TV show of 2022.
Mine had to be House of the Dragon. As a late Game of Thrones fan, I was completely against watching this show just because I don't want to follow everybody saying it's so good. And then I was the last one to watch it. I caught up finally when the final season came out and watched every single episode. And now I watch House of Dragons and I feel like I'm in the know, in the mix.
Do you watch every season of the old one?
Yes. Well, not in the last 3 years. Let me be clear.
Oh.
Yeah, I caught up before the final season aired 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no, that would be way too much Game of Thrones all at once. Yeah. But I did catch up and I feel like, how could I have not been watching this show? It's just so good. It's not even about, if you don't like medieval shows, it's not about that. It's just about relationships and craziness and it's just
family dynamics. Al, you love that show.
I do. I've been on Game of Thrones for a while. It really did. Game of Thrones actually helped me understand character plots and following.
For writing your own stuff?
Yeah, so I watched it for that. But you know this, Tori, you should be able to guess mine. And technically it counts because it aired in January of this year, Station 11. I feel like it was the best show. It's a 10-episode miniseries. Some of the best acting I've ever seen, the most inspiring television show I've ever seen in my life. I feel like the way that it's laid out and the way it jumps around in time, it's my favorite thing I've ever seen on television.
So it's a book.
I was going to say, what's it about? Because I missed this whole thing.
It's a post-apocalyptic world in which you see, Al, go ahead, survivors.
Right.
And it's just wonderful.
The acting is phenomenal.
Wonderful.
It's all about humanity, and it really kind of speaks to what the Walking Dead kind of tries to get to, in that you have a common goal as people to survive, but then after that, like any collective, it splits, and some people want to be kind of savages and rape and pillage, and other people no, we're going to bury our dead. We're going to have sanity. So it's all about whether you set up a society or you become kind of nomad. So it's a really interesting.
It's fascinating. It really is. I
get overwhelmed every time I hear about a new good TV show because I'm so far behind.
Yeah, but there's only 10 of those and there's no more coming out.
Okay, maybe I'll start there.
Yeah, there's no Station 12. It's just Station 11.
I was so hurt when I found it.
I know.
I was
but the book itself is also, if you want to read the book, it's excellent as well.
So what's your favorite show?
Mine is also starting from the beginning. So this aired February 2022, but I have to ask everyone here to clap if they've seen Severance.
Oh, yeah. That was, oh, my God, I forgot about that.
So here's my deal. I think this reflected the anti-work, great resignation era of our time, of what work means and life means. And if you don't know the story, severed people who work in this office can't remember, when they go down the elevator, they can't remember their life work when they're at work or their work life when they're at home. They severed their memories so that if something painful happened when they're at work, they can't remember it.
That's awesome.
It becomes a mystery, though, about what happens, but it's about the grind, I think. It's an allegory, and it's excellent, so I really appreciate that.
I didn't want to watch that show, but then I ended up watching it so quickly.
It's so good, agreed.
It is.
Let's talk about overrated, which a lot of people call me. What do you think is your most overrated TV show?
In my defense, I text you that. I don't
every morning. Every morning. What is your most overrated?
Oh, man, everybody's going to hate me. I got to say Stranger Things. I wasn't into it again. Okay, we get it. Underworld, people doing things in the 80s. We get it.
You didn't need it. It was too straight.
I just also get really scared easily, so I couldn't. Colin had it on while I was trying to sleep, and it really was giving me like low-key nightmares. And so I would have preferred to have not had that on.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I mean, that was definitely in there for me, but I'm biased. I don't like to see kids as superheroes. I think that's annoying. For me, it is. I don't believe an 11-year-old's going to save the world. I'm sorry, I'm an adult.
Wow.
But
you have no heart. None.
Al gave a much better reason than I gave.
Yet they're fighting demons. Like, no, let's get through English lit.
Oh
but you know, for me, Tori,
you were made of ice.
It takes me out of it when they're kids. Mine was She-Hulk. I was looking for shows for me and my daughter and I to watch, together, and I was looking for a strong female lead. And I liked what they tried to do here, but I thought they missed a little bit. I thought the characters were kind of flat. And sometimes when you try and inject a social message into a cartoon, sometimes it gets a little muddled. And I think sometimes, a bowl of popcorn is just a bowl of popcorn, and you don't try and do too much to it. So that was it. But I appreciate the attempt. I really do.
I agree, and I appreciate that actress. I think it's Titania Maslany, if someone can look that up for me. But Titania Maslany is excellent.
Yes,
Orphan
really
Black,
good.
great. But I thought my answer, She-Hulk. It was
both of you guys.
Both of us?
Yeah, it was really bad. I also had How I Met Your Father as a second runner-up because that was terrible.
Well, they had
you know what? I don't care how you met your father. Find a comedic writer. That's what you should find.
That's on the list of the most overrated shows of all time.
It's
How I Met Your Mother. I know people won't like that, but
I like that
I Googled because I wanted some ideas this morning, and that's on some list.
No, I like How I Met Your Mother. I did not like How I Met Your Father. It was a bad try.
Well, they had to try.
They didn't.
It's like Young Sheldon, but it missed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we do. I heard in my ear they have another season of it. How great. Coming up on DBL, our interview with comedian Tom Papa. He tells us all about his friendship with the Jerry Seinfeld. Plus a video, I want to hear everybody's take on this, on TikTok, of labor and delivery nurses mocking their patients gets them in big trouble. We're going to talk all about this, whether they deserve to be fired. That's coming up next. It's at Emory University. Stay tuned.
It's happy holiday season time.
From our DBL family to yours, we want to wish you
a happy holiday season.
A happy holiday season.
We're live.
Oh, was it Tanya?
Okay, Taylor just slid a note to me like this is a bank robbery. It's my Secret Santa clue. I'll be quite honest. I'm going to do my best to write another rhyme. Part of my job at DBL deals with time. Who am I? Your Secret Santa. See, I'm thinking about maybe this one over here. She times a lot of stuff. She's acting like she doesn't hear me. Look at how.
Just ask her.
Yeah.
She has to say,
are you allowed to ask? I don't know.
Say, are you my Secret Santa?
Mars, are you my Secret Santa?
Does she know that I'm asking that?
See, I thought.
Kelly, don't say it.
I'm not going to.
Wait, what are the rules of Secret Santa?
Except mine. I don't know who mine is. Mine hasn't given me any clues.
You got a clue?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I have a good secret.
I didn't know you were supposed to give clues.
Wow, read your email.
I don't have an email.
That's unacceptable.
You have an email.
Yes, you do.
I don't know how you.
Even see the schedule.
Don't even say.
I get it on my Gmail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. I don't get
Because we
anything
have to
else.
send it to your personal email so you don't check your work email.
I don't have a work email. I don't think.
Yes, you do.
I know, because I'm an independent contractor.
Absolutely.
I've never opened it. We should open it one day and just see what's in there.
Anyway, who do you think it is? What does it say?
Right.
I'm going to do my best to write another rhyme. Part of my job at DBL deals with time. Who am I?
Say it like
Yeah.
you care, dude.
I'm trying to read it.
Time. What happened? That's a Secret Santa.
I'm trying to
I love
read-
Secret Santas. I never had them ever in school, and I'm so
I
as a
don't know
Jew, so
the
I'm so
rules for
excited.
it.
I got a lot of presents for my Secret Santa.
I didn't know you were supposed to ask people. I thought it was supposed to be on the low.
You're not supposed to ask me.
You're not thinking of one person.
Welcome back. Celine Dion recently shocked the world by announcing she has been diagnosed with something called stiff person syndrome, leaving us all wondering if she'll ever be able to perform again. So I just wanted to ask, what do we know about stiff person syndrome, and is it something we should all be worried about? Of course, to help us with this, we've got the one, the only, Dr. Coley with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, guys.
Hey, my love.
You look so nice today. I know Tori usually compliments, but I'm going to take the one. Okay, so Dr. Coley, a lot of us have never heard about this syndrome until Celine's announcement. So what are the symptoms and how is it treated?
Yeah, incredibly rare. 1 in a million people will get this. In fact, I've only seen one case. It was in medical school, very dramatic. And the person was literally sort of stuck like this, couldn't walk, couldn't move. And it used to be called stiff man syndrome. But then they realized that it's actually more of a female predominance. And so they changed the name, of course, to stiff person syndrome. And it's thought to be an autoimmune reaction. So our immune system attacks a chemical that helps to sort of regulate our nerves. And these are the nerves that make us move our muscles. And this is all muscles, including our vocal cords, which in Celine Dion's case can, of course, completely affect her ability to perform. And basically what it does is leaves those muscles in the on position all the time, because the volume on it that turns it up and down is sort of taken away. So think about it like blasting your stereo at full speed all the time. The muscles are stuck in the on position, and it can be debilitating.
Can she ever affect, sorry to jump in, swallowing?
It could affect swallowing, it could affect speech, it could affect walking, it could affect bathing, it could affect even the muscles that help us, empty our bladder to pee, and move our bowels. All of those can get affected, and there's no cure. So the treatments really only target the symptoms. So they try to give you, things like Ativan or Xanax. Those are, help to turn the volume down on the muscles. Yes, anti-spasmodics that can relax the muscles as well, some anti-seizure medicines as well, but no cure. And in some people, it can be progressive. Now, which muscle groups it involves can vary. So every person's stiff person syndrome looks very different.
I just keep thinking about the doctor that had to tell Celine Dion
your vocal cords.
She has a disorder that is going to affect her vocal cords. I mean,
that's insane. All right, this next story is pretty crazy. Nurses, I don't know if you heard about this, from an Atlanta hospital were fired after posting videos mocking their patients. It's all part of this TikTok trend of people describing their icks or things that kind of annoy them. So I want to take a look and then get Coley's opinion. Go ahead.
My ick is when you come in for your induction talking about, can I take a shower and eat?
What? My ick is when you ask me how much the baby weighs and it's still in your hands.
Dad comes outside and asks for a paternity test right outside the room door.
Yeah, it went on, and somebody said, I hate when they are asking me for blankets and things like that. We want to get your thoughts on that. They were all fired, and I wanted to know your thoughts on this.
Should they have been fired? Absolutely. In fact, I even think they should have lost their medical license.
Wow.
Because when we become a healthcare provider, we are held to a higher standard. We go into an exam room with a patient and close the door. What happens between us should stay between us. This is not a reality show. They're just trying to get likes and followers and what have you by basically making a mockery out of patients' lives. And yeah, people do things that annoy you. Am I annoyed sometimes with my patients? Of course. But as a healthcare provider, I cannot put that on social media, splay it out there, because what does that do for my next patient that might want to share something weird or annoying with me? They're hesitant.
Yeah, of course.
And by doing that and allowing my patients to have that kind of hesitancy, I think they're a disgrace to the medical profession, and I think they deserve more than firing.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the story, and I'll get to my question in a second, I started thinking about, this is not political, and the race is over, but when Dr. Oz was making those jokes about his opponents having a stroke, that made me so mad, because I have family members that have suffered from strokes, and I know how debilitating it is, and I know the rehab, and it just hurts worse when it comes from a medical professional, because you're like, this is the person I trust. When you're talking about things that are really embarrassing to you, and I can't control my bladder, now you think, oh, is my doctor going to go on TikTok and make a joke about that now? It's reprehensible, and I really appreciate your strong stance. I saw a lot of people nodding their heads. It means a lot.
I also thought it was outrageous. You recently had a baby, so I'd love to hear your take.
Listened to this. I mean, I know this wasn't like a discussion segment, but I was like, wow, you're so excited when you first deliver your baby. You have all these emotions. Maybe you are annoying, but to have the person that you're most protected or supposed to be most protected with saying that you just existing in this moment that's beautiful for most people is annoying to them. It's just like, disgusting. I think they should lose their medical license too.
And I think the rise of the TikTok doc, like I like to call it, I mean, it's become an epidemic, and it needs to be stopped, and the medical boards and societies need to take this kind of stuff seriously.
I appreciate this conversation. I really, really do. I completely agree with all of you. Dr. Coley, thank you so much.
Not everything is for the public.
Yeah, and again, people are in pain.
Right.
How outrageous. Thank you so much for being here and answering all of our questions. If you guys have a question for Dr. Coley, write us. You can also follow Dr. Coley on Twitter at PyleColeyMD. We could read your question on air. Thanks again.
She and I will put our heads together and get some answers back.
Cool.
Double doctor duty.
Cool, yeah. Al will be doing nothing. We'll be right back. 0.
Billions of emails are sent every day, and as we all probably see in our inboxes, many of them are marketing promotions. Verify viewer Linda says her inbox is full of them. She texted our team to ask if a business can sell her email address after she unsubscribed from its mailing list. So Linda, let's verify. Our sources are the Canned Spam Act, the Federal Trade Commission, and Andrew Sternke, Chief Executive Officer and Private Investigator at Juris Disputes and Investigations. A 2003 federal law called the Canned Spam Act sets the rules for businesses that send commercial marketing emails. It requires companies to do 2 things: identify these emails as advertising and tell you how to opt out of receiving future emails from that company. According to the Canned Spam Act and the FTC, once you submit an opt-out request, businesses must remove you from their mailing list within 10 days, and they can no longer sell or transfer your email address. The FTC says there's one exception. Companies can transfer emails on its mailing list to a company that it's hired to help them comply with the Canned Spam Act. If companies don't follow the rules, they can face hefty fines. So Linda, we can verify, no. Businesses are not legally allowed to sell your email address after you unsubscribe from their mailing list. According to cybersecurity expert Andrew Sternke, the removal of emails from a mailing list is a self-regulated process that comes with some issues.
There's nothing saying that they didn't already sell your information, your email, prior to you opting out. They just can't do it once you opt out.
With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
Our next guest has been a comedian and host since the 90s. Now he's back with a new special this week on Netflix. Earlier, we spoke with comedian Tom Papa. Take a look. Tom Papa, welcome to DBL.
Man, first of all, congrats from one comic to another. Congrats on the Netflix special, man. That's absolutely huge, man. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. You know, I want to ask you, just in terms of the development, you have been Jerry Seinfeld's opening act for years. What has been some of your biggest takeaways from watching him perform?
Oh, man, it was, thank you for those kind words, first of all.
That's
nice
a big
to be
deal.
here. Yeah, Jerry is amazing. I learned so much from him. Whenever people ask what was my biggest break, it literally was meeting Jerry.
Yeah.
Because he had come back to the clubs in New York for the first time since his show was over, and he was poking around, and I happened to be on stage, and he took me under his wing. Or I should say, I grabbed onto his coattails and never let go.
Accurate, I love it.
But yeah, I call him the comedy chiropractor, because anytime that you are feeling kind of funky, or you have a problem with a joke, or you have a problem with your career, you call Jerry, and he just reminds you how lucky we are to be comedians, that we could be grown-ups in this silly profession is just a blessing. And I think that's the biggest lesson that I've learned from him.
That's lovely. So I want to ask you, what's the weirdest thing you've ever experienced on the road?
Oh, geez. That's a big question. That's like asking, why is the ocean wet?
Oh, I know. I'm sorry.
Man, there's been a lot of strange characters in the green rooms, a lot of strange characters in the audience. One I always think about, when my family first started to come support me live, I was doing a show in New Jersey, and I'm trying to tell them that I chose a good career, and in the middle of the set, someone threw a French fry at me. and it landed on my shirt and had ketchup on it, and it didn't just bounce off, it just slowly went down. And I remember looking at my family. My family was like, you should get a job.
Do you want to be a doctor still? I love it. Oh my gosh.
So good.
Hey, Tom, so marriage and parenting have been a huge source of inspiration for your work. I first met you when I was on the Marriage Ref back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. So were you scared of your comedy changing after having a kid?
I was at first. I thought, I don't want this to devour my whole act. I don't want to become one of those comedians that just talks about family life. But now, like when I think back, it's like those jokes are so much better. Talking about your family and human condition and your relationships. It's like I can't even think what bad jokes I was holding on to. It's like I would much rather talk about raising a family than what, catching a cab or weird stuff you saw in your apartment. That was so silly. But back then I thought it was cool.
Yeah. It changes the mind. All right, you have a bit about how we are the fattest generation. I feel attacked and seen. But you also started a series about making bread. So, Tom Papa, are you part of the problem, Papa?
A lot of carbs.
No, look, I say we're all fat. Everyone's fat. You're either really fat, kind of fat, or trying not to be fat. Either way, fat's coming, and that's okay. It's all right. Yeah, I mean, people are always like, I'm always wondering, like, why are we the generation that was told they can't eat bread? That's ridiculous. What are we trying to do? I mean, I have all these friends that they quit bread, they quit meat, they quit all this stuff. It's like, so you don't have the body of an Olympic athlete. Well, guess what? You're not an Olympic athlete. You're Don from Sales. You wear khakis. You hike them up when you walk. That's who you are.
You're Don from Sales.
You got to accept the reality of it all.
DBL Nation, as I know you're already writing in, be sure to check out Tom's new special, What a Day, on Netflix, December 13th.
Congrats, brother.
It was so lovely speaking with you. Thank you so much.
Come back soon. Come in studio.
Absolutely.
You're the best. Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
we'll
bro.
be right back. Thanks, Tom.
So I'm not proud of this mini feast, but here's one that would put it to shame. This post on Reddit went viral this week, not for how big and beautiful the spread is, but for how gross it is to have all that food out for so long with so many hovering hands, the commenters pointed out. Of course, 'tis the season to snack, to nibble, to graze, so let's verify, when does food go from gorgeous to gross? We turn to only the finest, freshest sources to find out. A food safety rule of thumb from the Department of Health and Human Services: never leave perishable foods out of the fridge for more than 2 hours. Past that point, it could make you sick.
Sometimes bacteria can cause food to spoil, but other times it can cause food to become unsafe and cause foodborne illness.
But what about cheese? Isn't aging kind of part of the process? Well, the rule still applies. Dairy Management Inc., a trade group that includes the National Dairy Council, says after 2 hours, hard cheeses like cheddar and Gouda need to go back to the fridge, and soft cheeses like brie and mozzarella should be tossed out. And that really goes for anything that belongs in a refrigerator, including raw meats and leftover cooked food.
When in doubt, throw it out.
HHS advises keeping hot foods on a chafing dish or in a warming tray or slow cooker. Anytime food gets between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, it becomes a feast for bacteria.
I have my own thermometer. I think that's a really good tool for people to have at home.
Even a hot, freshly cooked meal, sauce, or dip won't last once it cools down and enters the danger zone. As soon as it drops below 140, start the 2-hour countdown.
If you think you might have some leftovers, to just heat up and serve a small amount at a time.
And in 2022, we're still unfortunately passing more than just the appetizers. So to prevent the spread of viruses, make sure you have plenty of serving utensils and have people eat off their own plates, keeping their hands off the finger foods.
Just be intentional. Make food safety a part of your plan for your party.
When it comes to food prep, try not to put things out too early, because then it starts the clock earlier. Also, use common sense. Wash your hands, wash your knives and your cutting boards for at least 20 seconds. Keep raw foods and prepared foods separately, and check for mold on baked goods before eating or serving. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
The Biden administration issuing billions of dollars in loans to help make electric vehicle batteries. Let's connect the dots. one of the largest automakers in the world, working towards its goal of going all electric. General Motors wants to phase out gas vehicles by 2036, but they're going to need a lot of electric batteries to pull that off. Now, the Biden administration issuing a $2.5 billion loan to help build 3 factories in Ohio, Michigan, and Tennessee. It'll help jumpstart domestic battery production. It all comes as several big names expand their electric vehicle production in South Carolina. Volvo and BMW, just a few of the automakers investing billions into electric vehicles. All of this to encourage Americans to hop in the driver's seat of the next generation of vehicles. And that is Connecting the Dots.
For us today, Steph, I'm in the mood for shopping.
Before we get started, I want you to know that these items are not guaranteed for a Christmas arrival in the post, so you've got to be aware of that. So first up, we've got the Kenneth Cole women's puffer coat with a little hood.
I love that.
So the deal includes 1 coat. We've got it available in 3 colors. We've got black, this gorgeous pearl, or magenta. So normally it is $225, but we've got it, Tori, for $49.99, which is saving 78%. This, Tori, is so amazing. It is a 2-pack Bell & Howell 9-in-1 Super Deluxe tactical pen with a tool card. This deal includes 2 tactical pens and 2 tool cards. Normally, these are $25 each, but we've got 2 for just $14.99, which means you guys are saving 70%. So our next product is the Villanova Sleep Mask with built-in Bluetooth speakers.
Whoa.
So this deal includes 1 sleep mask that is the perfect product to help you fall asleep. Normally this is $60, but we've got it for just $19.99, which is saving up to 67%. And our last product is the Perfect Beauty 12-piece makeup remover towel gift set. So this deal includes 12 makeup remover towels available in 2 different colors. We've got red plaid and leopard. So these towels are reusable, they're machine washable, which means you can stop wasting on makeup remover wipes. Normally these are $45. They feel amazing, but we've got them for just $14.99, saving 63%, giving you lovely skin.
Guys, head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals, really at the lowest prices, or just scan that QR code right on screen and it will take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. One more reminder, guys, that these items are not guaranteed for a Christmas arrival. Thank you so much, Steph. So I'm working on my Jennifer Coolidge, and I hope you guys like it. But I do want to say that DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Oh, no, I have 5 seconds left. Bye, guys.
That was good.